Alex and welcome to another video from succeedatdating.com. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk very quickly about fear, the irrational emotion that we all feel when especially we're in a public place, like maybe a queue in a grocery store, or you're in the video shop and there's a few people around selecting videos, or maybe you're in a bus stop and there's about 20 people waiting for the same bus and you spot the most desirable woman there and you're thinking, man, if only she was alone, man, I would have her like this any day. If you got that feeling, then you're being overcome by fear, and it's completely natural. Fear is very irrational. I want you to role play with me for a second here. Imagine that you want to bungee jump and you're standing on a platform on the top of a mountain and you got this gush of air brushing through your hair and you're thinking, man, this is scary. This is really scary, and your heart's beating and the pulse is racing and you get all sweaty and there's this slight sweat trickling down the back of your neck and you're thinking, man, I can't do this. But what if I was behind you and I said, you can do this? Hundreds of people have done this. There's no risk to safety here. I can give you facts after facts. I can give you figures. I can show you pie charts and graphs and little mathematical equations that will prove to you how safe bungee jumping is. I can show you records of that bungee jumping business not having any accidents or any fatalities for the last 10 years. I can show you the chances of being injured in an accident in bungee jumping is probably 1 in 20,000. You're more likely to be killed in a car accident than you are to be hurt slightly in bungee jumping. I can give you those amazing results, and what would it do? It would do nothing, because fear is irrational. You would still feel the fear, even though you knew the odds, you knew all the pie graphs, and you knew everything, you would still feel that fear. You can't logically or rationalize or make up an excuse to override a fear. And the same thing is, if you're in a bus stop and it's a public place, or you're in a very public place and you know you should approach, but the only thing that's stopping you is people around you, it means you feel the fear of criticism. You worry what other people think of you. And it's completely natural, again, but you can get over it. It's very easy to get over. It basically means you're easily influenced by other people. And this is a very not a good trait to have. Fear of criticism is a big thing. It actually stops a lot of people from succeeding in life, from a lot of people taking up new business ventures, or for fear of developing new relationships or finding new friends or trying something out new. Usually their family, their friends, closest friends or colleagues, they're probably not trying to bring you down purposely, but unconsciously their criticism does affect you, and it's probably the worst thing that can happen to you. The thing is, criticism is rumors. It's just discussions, rumors, gossip behind your back, and it is probably the most cheapest commodity in this world. It's rumor. It's criticism. This is my opinion, and people will give you their opinion of you whether you ask for it or not. They will give it to you. So that just makes it cheap and plentiful. It doesn't mean anything. What the person there, if you're in a bus stop and you see an attractive girl and you're standing there and you're thinking, man, if only she was by herself. If all these people, if they weren't there, I would do it. I would approach her, but I can't. Because that guy there, he's like looking at me strange. Stop worrying about what other people think. If you're easily influenced by other people and what they think of you, it means that you're never going to really live out your own desires in this world. You're never going to achieve any goal that you put forward unless other people approve of that. Unless it's in their social paradigm, it's in their little social mirror, it's acceptable to them. If it's acceptable to them, it's acceptable to you. that's not really living your life. So if you feel that fear and you're in a public place, I guarantee to you, if you just acknowledge that fear and do it anyway, you will realize, man, it doesn't really matter. It's these feelings I'm getting, they're not really hurtful from these other people. Okay, I want to give you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was in an improv class. Now basically, improvisation is all about being spontaneous and being in the moment and basically being comical and humorous without or on cue. And one of the tasks that was dedicated to me was to push my comfort zone. And we've all heard of this. We've push my comfort zone. I've heard that before. I've read that before. Now, I did read that before, and I had a partner in the improv class, and I thought, all right, we're going to try something different tonight. Let's do something really cool. Let's really push our comfort zones. Now, we can push our comfort zones and the results will be average, or we can really push it and we'll get amazing results. My idea was basically I wanted to go to a public place. Not too public, a little isolated, but I wanted to streak publicly. And I've never done this before. I've never done this before, and that's why it was a big thing for me to do. And my partner in crime, he has never done this before, so we thought this would really push ourselves. This would really get us outside our heads and start thinking, okay, we really don't care what other people think. So basically we drove out into an isolated part in Sydney. Now this is basically car parks. There wasn't anyone around, or hardly anyone around, and it was just dark and there's no lights and it's just cars parked. And basically we're in this van, this little minivan. We started taking off clothes, just looking at each other, and I'm thinking, I don't really know this guy. What am I doing? What am I doing in the back of a van undressing? And we open the doors and we're looking around, peering around. No one's around. No one in sight. So we thought, okay, this is the time. This is either going to make us or break us. So we get out there and we start running around, streaking, yelling on top of our voices, trying to get as much attention as possible. No one was around, so it's okay. Anyway, little did I know, a newly renovated movie theatre opened up in the previous block, and we actually running past, in this deserted area in a car park, we ran past a line full of people waiting to get into the cinema. And last thing we got is just hilarious laughs from these people. We were freaking out. We're thinking, oh my god, let's run back. So we turn around, we're running backwards. All of a sudden we hear this police siren. This police car stops us and says, okay, put your hands above your head. The usual scripts. And we're thinking, oh my, we're in serious trouble here. He took us back to the car park. We managed to put our, we got some clothes on. He took us down to the station. And he was checking us out for prior public exposure or acts of perversion before in his database. And luckily, he says, listen guys, just don't do it again. And he sent us on our way. I told our improv class that true story, and I just got a response like they just laughed their heads off. And the thing is, doing this exercise, it got me so out of my head. And this is going back a couple of years ago when I did this improv class. And I highly recommend that the best things that you can possibly do to get you outside your comfort zone, to get you outside living in your head. If you worry what other people think of you, take an improv class. Or do something really crazy. Something that's against the social rules, the social norms. But don't go over extreme, don't break the law, and don't streak in public, especially in winter. That's all I have time for today. My name is Alex, and I hope our paths cross again many times in the future.